Greetings, family. This is Brother Ron once again with We All Be Living History. Back at the scene of the crime of His Honor, Boss Crump at the Boss Crump Plaza in Overton Park. This is a place where I come to confess and tell my truth as a truth teller should. And I just want to talk about the O.J. Simpson situation. Like, I haven't had yet to weigh in publicly in this type of way on the O.J. Simpson thing. But what I will say is this, is that June 12th will mark the 30th anniversary of the horrific killing of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman. Nicole Brown Simpson was the ex-wife of O.J. Simpson, and Ron Goldman was a friend of hers, from my understanding, who was a waiter at the Mezzaluna restaurant in Brentwood, where Nicole had her last meal with her family. And allegedly, Ron Goldman was returning the glasses that was owned by Nicole's mom, who left the glasses at the restaurant. I guess, to me, that's kind of interesting, because they could have called Nicole later. I guess she was a regular at the restaurant, from my understanding, and she could have retrieved the glasses another time, but I guess because they was good friends or whatever. It's interesting. We'll get into that. But OJ just passed away not too long ago. People got their jokes. People saying, well, OJ can rest well knowing that the killer is now dead and stuff like that. I was thinking, hey, it's funny. It's not funny in a ha-ha way, but that Reggie Bush, another USC great, Trojan great, like OJ Simpson, running back wise, he got his Heisman back. You remember, I think they took OJ's Heisman away from him. There's something about USC running backs that the establishment like to mess with, whether it be OJ Simpson or Reggie Bush. And then the fact that Reggie Bush was dating Kim Kardashian. OJ was very close to her father, Robert Kardashian. I think they went to USC together. He was on the dream team for OJ. And I think Robert Kardashian, I think that's the father name. Father Kardashian. He died, I think, in 2003 from cancer. But isn't it interesting that OJ Simpson had a relationship with the Kardashian family and was a famous USC Heisman winning trophy running back, and then Reggie Bush was dating Kim Kardashian, and also was a USC Trojan running back legend Heisman Trophy winner. And both of them had their Heismans taken away from them, from my understanding. But Reggie got his back around the time OJ passed off. Don't tell me about blood sacrifices without telling me about blood sacrifices and rituals and witchcraft and stuff like that. That is fascinating to me. I believe that OJ was the first black male victim of the Kardashian curse, to be honest with you. Because the time he got caught up trying to steal back his football cards in Vegas was around the same time that the Kardashian reality TV show movement premiered. I'm just putting all this stuff out there, folks, for y'all to see. Kanye West is a miracle because he survived the Kardashian curse. Lamar Odom was almost taken out of here in a cat house out in Vegas. He survived in his own way, but Kanye is the greatest survivor of the Kardashian curse. Even the fact that Kobe Bryant went to the wedding of Lamar Odom and Khloe Kardashian, I believe. I think yeah. And look what happened to Kobe. It's something about the Kardashians are black man's kryptonite. But I'm not talking about that. I'm just joking. I'm just riffing and rapping. I just want to put that out there. I think it's hilarious. Not always in a ha-ha way, but Nicole and Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman was killed 30 years ago, this upcoming June 12th. I never thought, I'm going to tell you, Brother Ron heard the second, Brother Ronald Cortez heard the second, also known as R2C2H2, the Artivist, never thought in almost 30 years that OJ did it. I never was convinced that OJ did it. There's a lot of reasons why I was never convinced that OJ did it. I will give you some of the reasons, and also let y'all, develop your own critical analysis. One thing I didn't believe OJ did it is because timeline. Look at the timeline, because I believe he was in Chicago when they called him back to L.A., right? OJ caught a red eye to Chicago. If you ever saw the crime scene photos, it was a bloodbath. Nicole Brown Simpson's head was literally almost taken off her body. People call it a Colombian necktie. Y'all look that up. It's some organized crime, murder type of thing, ritual. But it was a horrible thing. So to tell me that, they found blood samples or blood in the Bronco, to me, should have been a whole bunch of blood everywhere in that Bronco based on the crime scene. Especially if you found like a bloody footprint at the crime scene. It should be bloody footprints all in the vehicle. To me, it don't add up the timeline. You can't convince me. I know he did that Hearst commercial where white folks think he was so flash, so fast. He was the only black person in the whole airport with a bunch of white people running. Go OJ, go OJ, go. Then they'll tell go OJ, go down the 405 in LA. People already had signs made up. It was a Hollywood production, y'all. Y'all can't make this up. Hollywood, the fix is always in. The game is rigged. Donald Trump told us that. So with that said, I never thought he did it. No, I don't think he ordered it. I think Nicole got caught up in some stuff because she was known for having a reputation for being an alleged drug user and being loose with it. I remember hearing a clip of a 911 call that Nicole made to the authorities talking about OJ, but OJ was in the background. He was like really cool, calm, and collected for the situation, but understandably upset that Nicole was having all these strangers in the home with their children. He would basically tell her, don't bring these guys or these strangers or these weirdos to my home with my kids. You get a hotel room somewhere. Don't bring them around our children. And the sad thing was that her children were sound asleep when she was getting murdered or massacred outside her home with Ron Goldman the night of June 12, 94. But also I say this, the Mezzaluna restaurant, I guess it's a restaurant chain, but that one in particular in LA, in Brentwood, which no longer exists, I don't think it was tore down. O.J. Simpson's home was tore down. And the thing about it is, the media is crazy because I can remember it was yesterday when that happened, that tragedy happened, and the media was saying, well, O.J. is not considered a suspect. But at the same time that this media station was saying this, it showed footage of O.J. With his hands handcuffed behind his back at his home by a tree. So I remember seeing that, and how they did that picture where they darkened his face for, I think, Newsweek or one of those major mainstream magazines. So, the fix was already in. And also the officers, you had the Rampart scandals come out a couple years after that, where LAPD was under fire for their officers being very rogue or roguish and thugs and criminals, manipulating evidence, crime scenes, framing people, even, I guess, murdering people. Now, look up the Rampart scandal. It's very important to look that up. And also with the Mezzaluna restaurant, allegedly it was a front for organized crime, drug trafficking. Allegedly. I don't want to get, I'm saying what I read on the internet, that it could have been a organized crime front for drug trafficking. And the fact that OJ was the only suspect looked at seriously by the law enforcement is a joke to me, because you got a couple of murders connected to that restaurant. Mezzaluna restaurant, you had a couple of waiters that were allegedly drug dealers and went missing or got killed. One infamous example will be the killing of Michael Nigg, who was a waiter at Mezzaluna. But, he was a waiter, but he had this amazing, immaculate lifestyle. He lived in a condominium. He drove foreign cars or whips. He was a part-time actor, but he had all this amazing income with no source to trace it to, allegedly. But he was murdered in a public fashion September 8th of 95, a month before the O.J. Simpson verdict was read back in October of 95. But he was killed September 8th, I believe, 1995. But there's a couple of other murders connected to the Nicole Brown Simpson situation that's not talked about. I mean, Paul Mooney, the comedian, made reference to that. It was a nightclub owner that was killed in a similar fashion, maybe like a year or so before Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman. And like I said, some of the waiters allegedly were drug dealers, were drug trafficking. And they were trying to say that Michael Nigg was an alleged drug trafficker as well. And I don't know. You can just look at all this stuff on the internet. Then you have this serial killer named Glenn Rogers. He said that he actually murdered Nicole. Allegedly, OJ hired him to steal some jewelry from Nicole and to kill her, supposedly. I don't know about that. But you got a serial killer claiming that he killed Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman. And I believe he's on death row in Florida. So they did a documentary that came out over 10 years ago. His family believed that he actually killed Nicole Brown Simpson. But I just want to say this, put it out there for the people. So much more to talk about with this OJ thing, but I'm leaving it there for now. Y'all take care. God bless. We love you madly.